Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay! Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
You talk big, but your wallet's thin. Claim you're winning while I cash it in. Your schemes are weak, your pitch is lame. I'm stacking gold, you're playing games. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheap old banners. You sell the moon, but can't pay rent. Your big ideas just came and went. I'm counting checks while you pretend. Your pyramids crumble in my climb will end. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheap old banners. You hustle air, I breathe success. Your phony tricks are such a mess. I'll toast to wins, you fake distress. Your con's exposed, no second guess. Your empire's built on plastic pride, but truth's a wave you can't outride. I'm stacking real while you divide. The house of cards where you reside. You'll beg for mercy from coast to coast, saying where's that villain we hate the most. I'm masked up and on the attack. Verbal walk-bys filled with facts. Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Maybe you intimidate your friends and kin, but when I play to win. And here we are, right at the end, with your game of cheap pretend. Nothing about your world is real. A plastic person that suits to feel.
It must be lonely to sit on a throne made of silence, built not with trust but with lawsuits and threats. Fall like nails to board, shut the mouths that know you best. How sad is it to turn your name into a weapon, to aim at your own kin, your own crew, your own clients, just to keep the truth from catching daylight. But see, truth don't bruise, it burns, and maybe that's why you run from it. Why you hide behind courts, behind contracts and clauses, as if a signature can undo a sin. Because truth is kryptonite, and you ain't made of much steel to begin with.
Yeah, I'm getting paid while you just scammers, swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Getting masked up for what I love the most, wrecking lawyers on these streams I host.
Jordan!
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Welcome to a Sunday edition of We Are All Going to the Slammer. That's right. We are all gonna go to the Slammer. Man, so sad. Oh, we were having such a good run too, you know, but apparently we are all destined for the gulags, I suppose. Actually, I don't think they have gulags in Florida. Whatever passes for a gulag there. Oh my God, these people, man. They so they've apparently they have definitely reported to the police. They're bragging about it. We wouldn't really, I guess, call that a shock. Except, guess who's come back and was posting about this, telling us all, essentially, you know, leave me alone. Leave me alone. One Leslie Fertarigos. That's right. Now, she's doing it under a sock puppet name. Now, this sock puppet name, by the way, is a sock puppet name that we already knew about. We already knew it exists. Why? Because she was out there harassing people that were very close to her. You know, I'll leave it at that. But she was doing this a few months ago. She was actually utilizing that account to harass people that, yeah, like I said, they were, let's just say, close to her. That is the best way to go with it. And yeah, apparently she's decided to bring it back and to now tell us that, well, let's pull it up. Let's look at it. I swear, I've heard so many times, by the way, we're all going to the prison. We going to prison, baby. We under investigation. Now, you remember that. When I call the police about this stuff, and, you know, because Miss Fertarigos has decided to bring us all up. By the way, I'm going to throw this out there right now. I have redacted certain elements off of this because I think it's important to do so. Okay. But we mentioned this the other day. Okay. Being, I guess the other day would be better word. I think if since it's only been a day, it should probably be more like yesterday instead of the other day. But we mentioned this yesterday. What is this, you might ask? Now, again, I've redacted certain things. I redacted the name of the person that was across the top here. I redacted the school that was right under it. And I redacted the callback number that was there as well. All three of those things were on this. Now, this was sent to one Rosalind Duke. In fact, Rosalind Duke wanted to know about what was going on with all of this insanity. She... give me 1 second. Let me find I'm going to find the email she sent because it was actually it was a good request, and I think it's something to read over. Let's read this over. Okay. Because her name, it was brought up. It definitely went to the school. Also, the other thing I left off of here too is there's a little caution symbol that comes up. When a caution symbol comes out of the school district, you know, because the school is responding to you, it gives you a formalized little warning thing. It says, caution, this email originated from blah, blah, blah. So it tells you, you know, you're getting it from there. And when it's going in, it puts a little warning on it, you know, the people going, when they respond, that thing pops up so you can see it. So it was telling them, you know, not to click on anything. And you could see that too. But Rosalind Duke asked, to whom it may concern, I was informed of a lockdown on your campus on Thursday, November 6th, 2025. I was also informed by a spokesperson for Leslie Fertarigos that I was accused of sending emails to faculty and placing a call to a school that caused a lockdown, and a police investigation is into this situation. Now, I've never met Leslie Fertarigos. I have never had any interaction with Leslie Fertarigos. I know of her only through another legal matter. I do not reside in Florida. I was working all day Thursday. Therefore, I would not have time to phone the school or send emails to the alleged 274 faculty members. Additionally, there's video footage of me working to verify my inability to have done this. Before I involve legal counsel, please verify any such events occurred. Your immediate attention to this matter would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And then, goes through the signature or whatever. Now, the answer comes in, and the answer is very much a legit answer. It's not only, like I said, it not only is the right name and everything else, but it comes from OCPS, Orange County, which we know that because they keep naming it over and over again as the damn place that the police are going to come at us from. They keep telling us that Orange County, Orange County, Orange County. So, but it's public schools. So they have a public school address, which is 100% legit. I'm not putting this person's name out there because it doesn't need to be out there. But they've mentioned school. They mentioned everything so far. So fuck them. These weirdos have already thrown it all out there. So the principal noted that I have no knowledge as to what you're speaking about. The school here, it operated under normal conditions all week. I cannot speak to any law enforcement matters you reference below, which would be like, I don't know about that. If somebody went to law enforcement, I have no idea about that. So this is the principal themselves. Now, again, you can either believe the ThATs, which somebody's lying in this situation. Although, interestingly, last night, now again, we'll get to the police thing and everything else. Although, interestingly, the ThATs, they've tried to walk that back just a mite. Yeah, we're all going to the alligator Alcatraz. Marla wants us all to go there, right? She's like, that's where I send my least favorite stuff. You're like, Marla, you shouldn't say things like that. But last night, they decided they were going to try to start walking a little bit of their statements back. Now, this is, I swear, you talk about gaslighting your audience and just lying. The ThATs last night were saying that they didn't actually say that Jeremy Hales made calls. They said someone claiming to be Jeremy Hales made calls. And it's like, no, you didn't do that. You actually spent quite a bit of time, with your first and really the live stream after that with the mods. You spent a lot of time going after and attacking and saying some crazy stuff. But they did try to walk a little bit of that back because I think they know that they got themselves in a little trouble with this, They're like, as Leslie's friend, I'm concerned for her. I'm concerned for her life. Her life. Now, of course, they don't give a shit about her students. They don't give a shit about that at all. The fact that she's posting her students online in a two-party state. No, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the whacked out lighting and all of that shit. That doesn't matter at all. By the way, too, just to inform you of this as well. So they've also taken to the nobody knew that she was working at this place. Yeah, we've actually known since August is the date. That I don't know the specific day, but yeah, we've known that since August, I believe. It was right. I mean, right when it started up, because some concerned people told us about it off the top. But at the time, like I said, I don't give a fuck about Leslie Federico's getting work. What I care about is her posting some kids' faces online and stuff. That's weird. But they started walking it back, and they were like, what I said happened was, somebody who was a male, they called. They said they were named Jeremy Hales, and they called, saying they're a YouTuber and trying to mess with Federico's job. That's not what you said, by the way. I've referred to the transcripts on there, and it's funny. They want to say the transcripts, they're not correct. These gaslighting mofos, man. They're like, yeah, that can't be right. So their own words aren't their words. There's video of you saying this stuff too, right? But that's why they threaten to strike every fucking video that has them speaking in it, because they know it locks them in. They even deny, though. It's amazing. They're like, yeah, the transcripts aren't right. Oh my God. Some of this stuff amazes me some days. I'm like, you are kidding me, right? Nope. Nope. They are really denying the fact that they why not own up to it? Oh, because they know they screwed up. They absolutely screwed up. Here's by the way, just to make that point too, and then, like I said, I'll show you all of that wonderful stuff. But they told here we go. Let's see. Pull this up here. All right. So, they were like, well, here's them talking. They said Jeremy had been stalking her, right? Yep. Jeremy's a monster. He was stalking her. He found out about all of her class stuff. She had posted a video, by the way, not a bunch of videos, not a channel, just a video. Didn't have anything to do with school either. Oh, except it was about chemistry class, but not in the school, apparently, according to them. But they said, Jeremy Hales, he calls up. He's stalking, they say. So the school principal gets a call, and Jeremy Hales is pretending to be a parent of a child in the class. There's the statement for that. The principal asks for the name. So then they say, well, Jeremy Hales got stumped here. So he comes out and he says, I'm Jeremy Hales, the famous YouTuber. And they're like, oh, we don't have any famous YouTuber here, So then he goes through all of this stuff. They gave a time frame too, They were saying also, which is important, I want to pull up a document with this. They were saying, all of this kicking off at 11, they have, here, let me show you. Give me 1 second. At 11 o'clock, right, with all that kicking off too, and they say a lot about Jeremy Hales, that's just a little bit. But they said at 11 o'clock, this stuff is happening. Now, weirdly, and again, this was picked up, other posts there. You can see this is a court minutes. Now, you'll notice that court for these minutes opens up at 11:26 a.m. Now, how are you having this giant school shutdown and all of these problems? You got to get there a few minutes early too. How are you having all of those problems and the school shut down and all of that? Like I said, and Leslie having to make announcements and everything else. And at the same time, she's in a hearing. The defendants were in the room, but they remained muted the entire hearing. So they're there. So they're there as part of the meeting, But at the same time, all of this stuff is going on. Now, like I said, you know, if they wouldn't have gotten crazy about it, ultimately, remember this entire allegation. Now, I'm going to show you what Leslie has to say in a minute, because Leslie has decided to make a brand new appearance too, because she's popped back out of the woodworks like the crazy ass person she is. But you got to remember that these people, oh my God, they've made so many crazy claims. And ultimately, the beginning of it was there was a call complaint to a school. Okay. Do you have the right to do that? Yes. They said that there was an email written. Okay, if we went over that. 2 emails supposedly made it through, although they said somebody wrote 274. But emails, are you allowed to write an email and complain about something that's going on? Yes. You absolutely are. They said all of that, shut down a school and more. Apparently, again, either the principal's lying or 2L and them are lying. And I feel like 2L and the gang understand that they're the ones that are really being caught up in the lies there, because they have this little bitty problem. It's called, again, transcripts, and they are doing their best to try to convince everybody that they did no wrong. Now, fun times. Leslie Federico's, like I said, has come out of the proverbial woodworks. Now, give me 1 second. I'm pulling up let's see. Yeah, I want that one. All right. So you can see where, now, this account right here, this is Leslie. This is yet another. Although, Leslie, why are you using some real person's face right now, which is really weird and bizarre? But this is Leslie. How do I know this is Leslie? Well, because I was checking out posts that they pertain to quite a few different things. You know, I check them out all the time, all kinds of stuff. And a few months ago, along with the startup for school, which this thing posted about, it also went after people close to Leslie Federico's. It does everything that it's a Leslie Federico's account for sure. And you can see, look, FBI, Orange County, and more. So I'll definitely be contacting the police, and maybe we'll have a little call and contact about you, Leslie, because you seem to think that you can do whatever the fuck you want in life. And then if something comes up about it, again, you break laws or you do something crazy, then you can cry to law enforcement and be like, oh, they did this to me. You sound just like Stupid Dave right now, who we're going to talk about today, too. I think that'll be fun to talk about, you know, as well. By the way, thank you today. 2,000 of you wonderful people have shown up. That is amazing. Again, for a Sunday. These weekends are nuts. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. But I was going to take today off. I really was taking today. I was like, ain't no way I'm going to do a live stream today. And I think life takes that as a challenge. I think it's like, yeah, you think you're not going to do that? Well, here you go. So appreciate you folks that showed up. We'll review what's being said on here. There's actually, we can see the 2 items in it. But I wanted to, like I said, make this very clear before we looked at it, that this is definitely her. Because this account right here, and you notice it went to groups. You know, if you know anything about what's going on Facebook, or if you don't, here, I'll treat it as if you don't. There was a What the Hales group that Jeremy Hales had nothing to do with, but that would attack, defame all the time. And it looked legit. It used this symbol and everything else. You know, it advertised itself like it was attached to What the Hales. That's the one we called the quote unquote fan group. And we meant that as not a positive thing. There were people that were fans there, obviously, but you also had everybody from Leslie's God knows how many sock puppets to the Fats, you know, to their mouthpieces, everything was around there. Well, it ends up getting frozen. It doesn't end up deleted, but there's no more posting that is allowed there. So since that, you've had a splintering effect. There are many groups out there. There are groups that tout themselves again. There are a few that I've parked in, but there are a bunch. There are everything from, well, let me shout out a couple. To be honest, give me 1 second. I'm going to shout out a couple because I've got myself parked in a few. So let me shout them out. But there's also, you can look up ones. There's like Hales v. what anti-Hales. I think it's what the hell's WTH what the hell's versus, I think it's a VS, maybe a V, anti WTH is that. But you also have out there, you have ecosystem 1.0. You have, of course, the oldies and very goodies, like again, you have to join, for these and be approved. But you have Otter Creek and the show, you can spell that actual word out there. You have Otter Creek, Florida, and the Shady Bunch, the Shady Bunch. These are ones I myself am in. You have Otter Creek, Florida, and the Shadier Bunch. You have some Otter Creek spilling the tea, and you have Otter Creek Tube Town. Now, all of those, in some way or another, when you put them together, there's a lot of good people too. There are a lot of good people out there. But my point is in this, there are a lot of groups out there, a lot of them. And this ended up going to at least one group. I don't know how many others, but I saw this. It came through my timeline. I took this shot myself. And then people have sent it over. And thank you, folks, by the way, who photograph stuff like this. If I wouldn't have seen it come up, I'm glad that you noted it for me, So let's read over and see what the wonderful statements are. And by the way, again, there are over 2,000 of you. Appreciate it. Tell other people we are live if you would. If you'd like to go further than that, hit that freaking like button. Smack it good too. Be like, oh, you were such a naughty like button. That's so dumb. And if you'd like to go beyond that, consider yo chicken skins. We used to call those breadsticks, but we're trying to we're trying to mess up the currency exchange system for chicken skins. So if you'd like to send us some chicken skins, I'm sure the fats will really cry about that. Get in there, chicken skin, baby. And thank you. Oh, Lord. So this is what that post says. It says, there is an open criminal investigation. So right off the bat, Leslie Federicos has contacted, she's going to tell us, Orange County law enforcement. She says there's a criminal investigation, and this will be turned over to authorities as evidence for harassment. Because people are talking about how she posted publicly kids in his classroom. She wanted attention. She begged for it. She said, please give me, please, sir. Can I have a little of that cloud, sir? And when people were like, sure, you can have a little bit of that cloud. She was like, I don't want any more of that cloud, sir. Oh my God, what is that, a smell? It's the chicken skins are coming in. Yummy. It's so dumb. Thank you. I saw that coming in. Oh man, I'm in a particular mood today. Oh my God, there's more of those chicken skins coming in. There's enough I can share it with. This is my weekend live streaming partner. Shh, don't tell Megan. That's right. That's right, Germany Cricket. You're safe, Germany. Poor Germany Cricket. It's a sad world, isn't it? Now, after being told that this stuff is being, there's an open criminal investigation, and apparently, I guess every body that talks about stuff that's coming up, they're under investigation. I'm kind of confused by what's meant about turning this over. You know, I'm kind of. Oh, sorry. Thank you again. I appreciate that. Look at all that chicken skin, baby. The fats are going to be in here like little Pac-Mans. They're like, waka waka. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I bet they really do pray to the 11 herbs and spices. Colonel Sanders. Oh my God. I may have last night, by the way, I may have written the chapter about, oh my God, about cult songs, about the unicorn jazz issue. And that's kind of amazing. So I may have finished that up last night, and it was pretty freaking funny. Oh my God, that's pretty good. So just a note. Yeah, the Colts, they did win. That was actually a shootout, too. All right, so let's read this here. Then Leslie pretends that Leslie is not Leslie. You know, you remember how she would do with all these sock puppet accounts? She would post like this is a random person out there. Like Leslie isn't behind the posting. Don't you love that, by the way? God, all the chicken skin. She would say, Leslie Federicos does not know any of you, has never met you, and is asking you to leave her alone. Isn't that interesting from the person that opened up bully hunters, by the way? I wonder if Orange County would like to see those. I wonder if Orange County would like to hear about how your fake-ass lawsuits and bullshit that you aimed at other people to try to disrupt their lives, after you pulled those, suddenly you can do anything you want, including posting pictures of children. And that's okay. That's all okay, right? Because everyone else is supposed to only play. See, this is what kills me about narcissists. Narcissists think that you have to play by their rules. Like life has to subscribe to their rules. You know, when they want to do something, when they want to put out dozens of videos calling people a bunch of fucking rubes and, you know, insulting people. And that was probably the nicest thing they could say. Oh, the ho-dunks. When they want to do that and insult everybody out there, including some of you quite by name, you know, which is a lie. She says, I've never, doesn't know any of you. Well, knows of. She definitely knows of because she mentioned people and she said she was suing multiple people off of Facebook. So the idea of no, well, I guess that that really depends on how you take it. The FBI, she says, though. Now, that will be an interesting conversation. Somebody should contact the FBI for sure. Not you guys, by the way. None of you should be contacting anybody. That is something for us to do. You contact no one involved. And you also don't need to contact any agencies. We got this mess. But this, I mean, they're threatening again. That's why Rosalind, just to make it clear, see, 2L brought us all up. She refined the notice of who they're talking about, by the way. Made it very clear who exactly they were talking about. Now, didn't want to bring up Rosalind's name last night, though. She kept calling Rosalind Megan Fox's or Megan's little bestie. You can actually see this, by the way. 1 second. I'll bring that note back up in a second. But you can see that noted right here, you know. But see, Fatty, who said that they are definitely talking to Leslie Federico's got all this information, said that, you know, at this point, they know who everybody is and what they've been doing this whole time, and it's being investigated. Man. So I guess I'm going to contact Orange County, and I'm going to ask them about this. And I'm going to ask them why Fatso's sitting over here talking like a PR mouthpiece for these people. Because she said, good luck, tug, straight up for myself, for us. And, Megan's bestie, Megan's little bestie. So she's talking about Rosalind Duke. That's who she's talking about there. Now, Rosalind already, she's mad about, they're mad at Rosalind Duke because Rosalind already ruined their little game. The lie, the giant fucking lie that there was a school shutdown. Because remember, the claim again, I've hammered this with you guys because I'm trying to make this point here, is that the claim is not that someone contacted a school. You notice, by the way, there's no claim of threat. You notice that didn't come up. Now, they may try to add that later, but there was no claim of that. The claim was person called. In that call, they claimed they pretended to be a parent, which, okay, even if we adopted that, I very much doubt that from anybody that would have called in. But okay, let's just say they did. And then when the person asked, they said, I'm Jeremy Hales, the big greatest YouTuber ever, which is amazing. I almost wish that happened. Wouldn't that have been amazing? Ha ha! It is I. You can imagine. It'd be like, excuse me, I would like to make a complaint about one of your faculty. Be like, okay, sir. And who are you? Well, I'm a parent. Yes. Well, what is your name? It is I, Jeremy Hales, the greatest YouTuber alive. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? They pretty much told everybody the other night too that there was a recording of this. Apparently, there isn't a recording of it now because they're walking everything back. But apparently they have dropped the idea that there's a recording. But yeah. Isn't it amazing? Also, like I said, they're talking about, oh my God, the other day they were talking about Leslie and her teaching. Well, that's weird. Actually, how did everybody see anything that she was doing in a school? Oh, that would be the problem. Man, I swear, I don't know who's worse, those weirdos or the sycophants that try to say that any of this stuff is good. If any of these people are parents, they disgust me. They absolutely do. Because they 100% would not want their kids being posted online. They would find a real problem with that. And if it were reversed, see, they can't look at the hypocrisy there. If I was teaching a class and I started posting their children up, they'd 100% contact, because they've contacted about other people's jobs, period. I mean, and that was okay for them. Remember when Bruce was contacting that woman's job and they bragged about it. They were like, the bar can't do anything to him. The bar didn't do anything. Okay. Well, that's what they wanted anyway. Also, Miyagi has a video up right now where they were threatening to contact the place where she worked too, to docs. So they were 100%. Now, where would they get that information too about Miyagi? They got it from donations. Yeah. So from donor info, they're using that to docs too, which is even worse if you ask me. Oh, you gave these people money. Well, they're using it to dox because, those big donos that came in, those giant ones. Yeah. We're not talking like YouTube doesn't give me any of your information, just a note. But the way that giant donors gave them money, apparently they pulled down information off of. Just crazy. But look at this. FBI, local Orange County law enforcement agencies are now investigating and will subpoena all records. You know what? You can fuck yourself because nobody's getting a hold of any of my records. because you don't have any claim to anything. You don't just get to say, oh, an incident happened. What, somebody complained to a school, and you think you're going to get into my phone records and stuff? You can go to hell off that. Because again, you folks, you're lying about it. There was no shutdown. The principal talked about it. So again, there was somebody, yeah, what they need to bring up, again, like I said, I'm going to call Orange County and I'm going to find out if this is going on. And when I do, I'm going to inform them that this person posted, which we have the videos of still, because they posted them, that they were posting from in a schoolroom, that they were picking up voices and they were picking up faces of kids. And their claim is that somebody called that was concerned. Now, you don't have to live there or be a parent to be concerned about that. You can just find that to be fucked up, because any of these people, what they have done so far, I find all of them to be disturbing. They're some of the most disturbed individuals I've ever seen. And Leslie, for you to be bringing up everybody yet again after you have already had false reports to the police, yeah, I'm going to bring that up too, because apparently, we have lawsuits against you. And according to your fat pal who you've been talking to and is bragging about it online, that's totally what you're reporting is totally going to mess up our lawsuits. So maybe need to bring that up too. Maybe all of these reports, all of this garbage, everything that you're doing there, maybe that's meant to interfere with the fact that, again, you made up claims like you're doing now. You're making up more claims, but you made them up in a court of law. You ended up dropping those. You ended up picking up them again, dropping them again. Then you got sued for it. And now it looks like you're doing anything you can. You've been making threats. You've been having your fat friend make threats forever. And now you're involving. And you're like, oh, we're going to subpoena your records. Good fucking luck with that. As those involved have now acted to disrupt the Florida school district. So it's the entire school district now. Apparently, any of you that ever see a problem online, if you note that there is a problem there, apparently you are disrupting an entire school district. And it's so disrupted, though, the principal there doesn't know about it. It's crazy. It's crazy that you're using fucking sock accounts to do this too. And stop harassing your family, by the way, through the same sock account. That's how I know it's you. I mean, seriously. Maybe you wouldn't have posted screeds about your own family. Like, what kind of crazy person attacks their own fucking family in public on that? While also singing the praises. Like, it reminds me of like the account, not what it posts, but the account reminds me of certain other people in the ecosystem. You know how they like to fake accounts and pretend that they're other people? That's how it reminds me. But yeah, as Leslie Federico's is an educator and employed by the District of Florida. So she has put up videos from in the school. She has talked about where she's employed. She's talked about the districts. She's talked about Orange County, everything else. So when I contact, I have every right in its mother. Plus, they've said that they're falsely bringing up names of other people. So I imagine there will be a few calls, and they're going to be about her. Then this. So this is funny too. She's telling people that we can't report on her anymore. That we're being told we have to cease reporting. This is funny too. You're telling us this from a sock account. This would be like, oh my God. This would be like Joe Blow telling me, really? Are you kidding me? This request is being turned over to authorities and recorded. What? Recorded? Leslie Federico's is asking Megan Fox, Jeremy Hales, and all others to immediately cease reporting on her, involving fans to act against her, post about her. Well, number one, You are the one that made yourself relevant. You wanted internet fame. You made another fucking public account. You could have. You know how freaking YouTube works. She also posted some of these videos on Facebook too. So they weren't just posted in one place. They were posted in multiple places. But reporting on you, fuck you. You can't tell us not to talk about you. We have every right to talk about you. Every right. But saying that fans act against you, no. You say that people reporting what you do and then discussing your public actions, not private actions, public actions, stuff again you did on YouTube. That's fans acting against you. How are they acting against you again? Because they're not following lockstep. Apparently, if you don't lick people's boots in this circle or wear a dog mask or something, apparently that's acting against them. I don't know. It's very strange. There is an open criminal investigation, and this will be turned over to authorities and to authorities as evidence for harassment. Yeah, well, we'll talk. Like I said, I'll call them. I'll talk about it. I'll tell them exactly what was brought up about that. 100%. We can talk about you too. You can FOIA my fucking statement when I contact them too. How's that? That'll be a fun one. You know, that'll be a lot of fun there. But yeah, these people, they've been trying for months now to intimidate us out of countersuit. They have contacted the police multiple times with false claims, saying that people like Megan Fox, myself, others, we're trying to go after her kids for going after for court records. I mean, just, you know, again, very, very provably false claims. But yeah. So what really happened, what I'm being told with this post, what this says to me is that regardless of what happened as far as a report, maybe a report happened, maybe it didn't. I don't know. But again, maybe a complaint happened. But there was nothing that stated or constituted any kind of threat. It complained about her actions as an educator and what she was doing publicly. That has been the statement there. And again, oh no, email. So she's trying to say that I'll shut down a school district. The whole district, by the way, now. Whole district, according to her. It has gone from the school and 3,000 kids to the entire district. We somehow shut the entire district down. What really sounds like it happened is that the school, they told her for whatever reason that there was a complaint, if there was, or she made it all up. I don't know which one of those. I can't say for certain. Or maybe there's a third. Actually, there could be a third that these people, they engineered this themselves. That's possible too. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But what I know is definitively, if they had any proof to tie anybody into this thing, they absolutely would have showcased it. The idea, I'm very anti-government getting into my shit, by the way. So if they think they're going to subpoena anything from me, well, good luck on that. And if they do subpoena and they force their way into it, then I think I will sue Leslie Federico's for that because she lied. Absolutely lied. So either way, that's a big catch-22 for it. I definitely would add that, and I would call that damages because she made up shit to the cops yet again. Definitely would go there. But this is the new norm now. I mean, you have her, and at the same time, Miltoast is pulling the same thing. Miltoast is back, whining his little head off, talking about how he's I don't know, broken or something. I can't remember. I'll have to pull up the statement. He's so exciting, Mueller. Now, this is the same guy that he's going to whine and say that people are picking on him. Now, he spent months, again, going not only, like these idiots, they not only went after Hales, but they went after everyone. And in that, some of the stuff that's still posted, by the way, you can see some of these things. You have videos. There's Megan and myself. This, by the way, you know, his quote unquote satire. If he wants to, if he wants some, he can get some. But apparently getting some, he's crying about now. But he thinks like posting shit that, again, I'm a big kid. I can handle that. But apparently he can't. So you can see just a few of the selections that he has up. And he has a lot, a lot of posts that are still up about this stuff. But now he's crying about people are damaging me and my mental health. You know, unfortunately, you've talked about how your mental health is, you think online is your therapist, and you always have. So, and it's not, you know, folks, I'll say this to you too. If you actually have some kind of mental health issue, you can have friends online that might help you out with that. That's fine. But online is not your therapist. It will not fix your problems. In fact, it'll do the opposite. For sure, it will do the opposite. God, man. Look at all that chicken skin. Man. Yeah, that is a good question, Auntie. I think that's good. You know, if there's a criminal investigation being conducted right now, by the way, why does everything have to be turned over to the authorities? Why isn't it already there? I'm telling you, I really want to hear Jeremy Hales call in and be like, "I, Jeremy Hales, the greatest YouTuber ever." Oh my God, that would be so funny. You know, see, that's why I don't buy it being Jeremy Hales, because, you know, I could see him, like I said, I could see him or anybody making a complaint. Again, I don't have a history of making a complaint. Anybody that tells you that I've made a complaint about something, I'm pretty freaking open about if I've ever had to call the police, and contacts with the police, they're exceedingly rare for me. You know, I don't really like going that route. You know, it's not, I don't like involving governmental entities in my life. So it has to be something I feel like I have to do there. But with these people, I mean, they're such liars, you know, contacted the school. No, I believe that Leslie pulled down, she either pulled that down on her own or knew that she was going to have a problem and pulled it down after they told her about it. You know, she's like, oh, and had to pull it down before anybody could look at it. What they'd like, though, like I said, we can provide them with video of it, since they want to investigate what happened. I like how you removed evidence, Leslie. That's interesting. But if the school, also interestingly, if the school actually did, as a complaint, they did tell Leslie that there was a complaint and they did want to add a name to it or something, then that would be a problem too. Because the school system there, I said yesterday, if you were a parent and you called in about a teacher because of something they were doing to your kid, or say, you know, you don't want to be identified as who it is, but you mentioned something happening, if they tell that person and they figure out who the complaint's about, who it involves, really who caused it, do you think they'll retaliate? Absolutely. They would if they had the chance. So that's messed up. But here's Miltoast anyway. Miltoast. I would cry through the whole thing, but I don't want to. Defamation per se is a real thing. No, I'm not going to do that the whole time. It's too much work. There's too much of it to do. Really bad. Huge difference in being arrested for something, then later released, and being charged and convicted of a crime. The term is no process. Wait, what? What? What is he talking about? Are you saying you were arrested for something, Miltoast? Was Miltoast arrested for something? Is that what's going on? I'm confused here. Because he's saying people have broken him and whatever, you know? And I mean, I guess he was arrested in 2015. What was he arrested for, by the way? I'm curious about it, because apparently something came out. I mean, just look at that. Look at what he's saying here. Like, this is his own statement. I'm going to read it all together and we'll talk about it, because I want you to see that this doesn't change up. He says, defamation per se is a real thing. Huge difference in being arrested for something, then later released, and being charged and convicted of a crime. The term is no process. Papers don't lie. I have them and lived it. Sometimes people should read an entire document before making assumptions and pawning them off as truth. Otherwise, it shows malicious intent and willfully disregarding the truth. I've said this too many times now. 2015 was an intense year, LOL. Glad I'm not that person anymore. What the fuck did you do, Miltoast? What in the world did you do, homeboy? Oh my God. I guess Miltoast was arrested for something. I just didn't know about that. That's magic, you know? Is that correct, RBF, for real? That he was arrested for throwing a phone at an ex? I'm not saying that's true. You know, I'm just saying, is that really? He and his brother were arrested. Is that what it was, really? You've got to be. Dave was married? You know, out of that whole story there, my most shocking part was Dave, a woman? What? What happened? That dude blinks like, you ever see that show V? You know, where lizard people come and they pretend to be folks? You know, I don't know if any of you ever saw that, but it was big back in the day, you know. It was like a really big, I think, ABC show. But they were lizard people and they wore, human skin. And one of the things they talked about with them is they rarely ever blinked. And every time I see Dave, I think, that fucker's a V. Because he doesn't blink. I can imagine, hey, baby. Oh, you're looking in my eyes? What do you see there? I'll be like, I see madness, mofo. That's what I see. Oh, my God. Jesus. V loved it. I know, I loved V myself. V was the greatest ever. But, I mean, that's what I think. Yeah, you know, the V, yeah, they ain't mice. I could see him putting a mouse on like 2 Whopper patties. Oh my God. I mean, really, sometimes I feel like his lizard mask or his human mask is slipping and the lizard's coming out. Holy God. When Burger King said had it your way, I don't think they meant get you a mouse and put it in there, Dave. But he was like, when will this smear campaign end? I'm so over all this BS. Who brought up the is that like somebody that made videos before? And again, I apologize. I haven't had a chance to, this stuff is so insane. I have watched some of those videos that other people, brought up. I caught some of the Huggy Bear stuff. I can't remember the female that did video on him too. He got really upset about it. But you got to remember too, Dave used to, before he became this soft ass pansy, he used to like to throw those proverbial punches. He was part of what, again, he termed himself the commentary community. All that means is there are people who go around and they attack other YouTubers. That is their platform. And he got shouted out by one of the biggest ones out there, you know, and he thought he was king shit for a while because of that. But when people are talking about his past, apparently it doesn't work that way. You know, I mean, these people make up, like, they have made up some horrible stuff about people. But he's like, when is this coming? You know, so over it. Too many lines have been crossed. I have never felt this harassed and stalked before. I pray to God keeps me strong and touches the cold hearts. This sounds like Lynette. Of those who do nothing but want to hurt another. If the people who like to talk had half the stuff they had been, if the people who like to talk had half the stuff that has been done to me, done to them, they would be in the same position mentally I am. You remember these people. Again, my favorite thing to return to is when signs were discussed with them being posted, calling Hales a PDF file. When those things were talked about, all of these people told him that he needed to nut up, you know, to man up, to be a real man, because that stuff shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't. It doesn't matter about damage. It's not going to hurt. But, now Dave here, Dave, weren't you part of pulling out Hale's divorce records? And as part of the quote-unquote interpretation there, weren't you saying that they meant all kinds of terrible fucking stuff? Weren't you also promoting the hell out of bully hunters? Because you did. You promoted the hell out of them, knowing who they were, by the way. You knew who was in charge of that. Absolutely. It shows. But you're okay with all of that stuff and more. Again, you made your own videos and stuff, but apparently you had like an interesting that I'm really going to look into now for 2015. I really need those documents. So if anybody's already got them pulled, send them over to old Tugless. I want to see that because I really, I'd like to see. I'd like to see. You know, these are the same people that wanted to dig through and they wanted to criminalize me having actually 2 bankruptcies. They wanted to criminalize that, you know, because how dare I, how dare I buy more time for my, my stepfather who has cancer? How dare that? But them having a past, well, let's see there. But he's like, there are people, the people are cheering and rooting on the harassment and the breaking down of people's mental health. And well-being both professionally and personally. It's sick. It sounds like you, man. It sounds like stuff you've done. I have been keeping it myself and handling my personal responsibilities privately, yet they don't stop. You know, I forgot until somebody sent this over to me, by the way. I forgot that Dave existed again. You know, I mean, seriously, it's kind of like certain other lawyers that exist in this thing. You know, I forget that they exist. There's this core group of people that I remember. Sometimes I forget. Like he made me think of Ray too. Like, I forget Ray exists until Ray pops out of the woodwork doing something really stupid. Typically, the only people I remember these days are usually 2L and the idiots attached to her. The BBB and his quote-unquote journalists that are attached to him. I mean, those are the people that pop up. And then Leslie sometimes, depending on the kind of crazy that she gets up to. But like Ray, I think about Ray more than I would think about Miltos. And I barely ever think about Ray. But Miltos posts something like this. I haven't made a video in over a month. This has done great damage to my channel and income. I can't even chat in live streams anymore because of these stalkers and the harassers. You talking about people, again, you're doing it publicly. like I said, this guy, he is more than happy to talk about what other people say in live streams, what people do in their lives, anything that went on in their life ever. He's okay with that, but he's not okay with that in return. And to that I say, fuck that, milquetoast. Fuck that. You know? Again, you think it's cute. You thought it was cute. You want to make videos of people like myself. That's fine. But you got my attention now. I told you. I told these idiots, all of them that are crying and whining because they have people like my attention. I told them. I said, there are certain things that you'll do. I've ignored them. I hadn't talked about them at all. And they just kept begging for attention and begging. And I told them when they crossed that threshold that I would dedicate a month of time. Not a month of live streams, a month of time, you know. And they thought it was a joke. So weird. When you say that, I guess they don't get the fact. So in that, what I'm telling them is per person, the average month has what, 730 hours? Per person, I will dedicate 730 hours to. Just because. It's like fun. And they were like, sure, okay. So all right, I'm down with that. I'm feeling it. But he's like, oh, I can't chat in there. My personal life's in the shambles. You've won. Now to the haters, leave me the bullets alone. You know, like I said, it was really weird because when Hales was like, yo, leave me alone, I'm going to have to sue you people. They just kept going and going and going and going and going. And that was their choice. You know? And in fact, if they would have walked it a specific way, Hales wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. But even if they feel like they're 100% vindicated in what's happening in a courtroom, that they're going to walk away from it, even if they feel that, their actions weren't this. When somebody asks them to walk away, stop messing with their business, stop messing with their life, they're messing with their mental health. Like, you know, Hales noted that. He said it was messing with, you know, all the stress these people bring. They mess with business. They mess with his, of course, mental, but also, you know, they mess with your physical health too. They mess with relationships and more, and they didn't care. They thought it was all fun. They thought it was fun and games. Now somebody found something nasty, apparently, in Dave's past around 2015. Huh. That's weird, Dave. That's really weird. Oh, man. I saw the whining post. I guess I didn't read it. I read the bottom of it because he's boring. You know what else I got shown? This would be interesting for you folks. So there's not just, so for Leslie, remember she said that she's moved on and she doesn't have any of the stuff out there, by the way. Hey, Leslie, there are, well, shit, if it doesn't, let me see. It may take it a minute to pull up because it's being stupid. There are groups out there, though, that still are targeting Hales that are on Facebook, and they are ran by you. I just took a screenshot of one just a minute ago. Here, check this out. Here's one. Look at that. It's ran by, look, who's there? Leslie. Legally Leslie. This was created in July. Jeremy Hale's exposed. Cyberbullying those who know the truth. Scamming viewers for profit. Jeremy Hale's YouTube con artist. Now, maybe that's Leslie and Leslie hanging out in a group now. Maybe everybody's left. Who knows? But this stuff's out there. And she's still attached to it. it still exists. You know, it still exists. So for her to say, I've just walked away, I have nothing more to do with this, I've never done anything to that man. It's wild, isn't it? And of course, she tried to sick the fleas. What they tried to do with this is wild too. You know, they tried, of course, they tried to compare Hales last night to cult followings, which is funny. You know, who has cult songs again? But they tried to compare to Charles Manson or David Koresh. It's like, are you kidding me? Would you all like to hear a chapter from the Chicken Skin? Would you like to hear something about cult songs? Oh my God, I'm feeling it today. I think we'll do one little preview. I may go through it and do it one more time. let me pull it up. It's pretty funny. If you don't know what's happening with this, by the way, if you haven't heard, since you remember those wonderful Chicken Soup of the Soul books. Well, this is Chicken Skin of the Soul. This is about a certain this would be if a certain narcissist out there wrote a book talking about themselves and everything that happens. Because of course they would. So check this out. This would be entree number 8. Cult song and chicken hymns. You know, because praise pays better than therapy. Now, again, I may change the title. I haven't decided yet. Revelation. So if you ever get candy on Halloween just to find later that it's been tampered with, that's kind of how I felt when my moderators started singing my praises. It's true. It would be like bad candy from Halloween. Honestly, I wasn't even going to accept songs about myself, or at least that's what I told them. I wanted to seem modest, the best version of myself, and I also wanted to see them beg, and they never disappoint. But every great movement needs music, one said. Every prophet needs praise, another pleaded. We have to show the world what your soldiers can do. That's right. Remember, they call themselves warriors. So that's why. And I, humble as ever, simply replied, fine, but you better make it flattering. Now, within a week, my moderators were calling them the first church of the monetized warrior. Not my idea, mind you. Though, of course, I did approve the logo and trademark the phrase within an hour. That's about right. Polyflop, what? The first church doesn't tell people they've joined. We find it easier to let them figure it out themselves. We just find out everything about them. We whip up a little Kool-Aid and make it very, very hard for them to leave, which is true. They'll dox the shit out of you. You ever complain over there? The first hymn debuted midstream, somewhere between an unplayed skincare plug about rubbing KFC grease on stress lines and a minor existential crisis. Here's a little bit of lyric. Now, of course, I'm not going to sing it because I don't have the voice for it, but here you go. Blessed be the givers. May your PayPal never freeze. Double chap for Jesus. And subscribe and pay your fees. Oh, man. Beautiful. Now, the chat, they went feral. Someone donated $20 just to stop them. They're tone deaf. Now, naturally, I responded like any good host would. I banned them for blasphemy. Let he who is without perfect pitch cast the first refund, I declared. Then I auto-tuned my mod choir mid-prayer just to prove God still works in mysterious plugins. Yep, that's about how it went. Now we get to unicorn jazz. Now the choir of confusion. Soon my most loyal followers formed what they called the inner circle of sound. Now, they told me they had written this song, quote unquote, just for me. Naturally, I assumed a Grammy was imminent. Yeah. They emailed the track hours before my next live stream. They titled it Unicorn Jazz, except they'd spelled it with an I instead of an A. So it came out Unicorn Jizz. Gross. And that is based on a real thing. Well, the string of sanctified chaos. So that live stream, it began perfectly. There were AI filters everywhere, lots of validation, and 3 emotional support Diet Dr. Peppers. Don't kid yourself, by the way. There was never any diet. Then the song played. Quote, your heart is so big, your soul's so wide. To which I coughed. I was like, mute that a second. Is that a lyric? Or are you talking about a stroke? But it continued. You glow like dawn. You're our guiding hide. And he said, I stopped with a second cough. I was like, why does it sound like something children would sing before summoning me to a cornfield? While it was going, the chat, they were spamming heart emojis. Someone typed, Queen, your voice, it heals my liver. Then the lyrics continued. Your light's so bright, it burns our shame. And then the chorus, Unicorn Jizz, it's all over our hearts. I froze. It was like, wait. What's on our hearts again? Unicorn Jazz. We drink our parts. And I spoke up louder. I was like, wait. You drink what now? Unicorn Jizz by the leader. Unicorn Jizz. I'm a believer in magic. Now, right then, somewhere behind the scenes, I could hear a mod whispering, she meant jazz. Wonderful. And I wanted to yell, thanks for telling the world. You're on a microphone, stupid. But instead, I thank them for inventing the stupidest worship anthem this side of Spotify. But it wasn't quite over either. Your heart's so big, it might explode. And I was like, oh my me. Instead of, oh my God, oh my me. I said, pushing the mic away. Are they calling me obese or terminally holy? And someone commented, apparently your heart's so big, it's dangerous. Wonderful, I snapped. Now my theme song is heart disease. Lovely. Unicorn jizz and heart disease. So crisis control. Now I muted the track between coughs the best I could. Took dramatic sips of water. Who am I kidding? I was drinking Mountain Dew. and I announced, this is what innovation sounds like. Too bad the unenlightened, they just won't comprehend. Now, someone in the chat, I believe, they said, it said jizz, in which I replied, no, it's a jazz, spiritual jazz with texture. Gross. To distract them, I turned on my new AI camera filter, one I'd been saving with the even bigger jugs, and declared, besides, unicorn jizz, that's avant-garde metaphor, baby. It's about rebirth. It's about hydration. It's like holy 7-Up. Gross. The chat flooded with laughing emojis and troll comments. I clapped my hands and shouted back, you don't get it because you're not supposed to. It's an inside joke. It's a test. It's a loyalty test. I pointed direct at the camera. I was like, there's a mole out among us. That's why they sabotaged the lyrics. We'll have to blame somebody. I wonder who. Probably the same one that said I can't sing. I let that one linger, so my moderators, they would doubt each other. That's right. Now, as we sat there, someone donated $5 for the replay. I smiled through clenched tooth. Clenched tooth. I smiled through clenched tooth. Shit. Oh, God. One, Once, that's a revelation when we play it. Twice, that would be heresy. Then another $10 came in, so I relented, eating myself into a coma. Now the aftermath. Clips of the stream, they spread faster than salmonella at a church potluck. Gross. Certain channels, they mocked it. Yeah, you know those channels. Not understanding my glory. I went live the next morning, cough syrup in one hand, confidence in the other. I did not accidentally approve those lyrics, I said. I strategically allowed them to test loyalty and algorithmic reach. That's psychological marketing. Now, the chat, of course, it lit up with trolls spamming unicorn emojis. And I squinted at that camera and I said, "You think you're laughing at me, sweetheart? You're laughing with the Lord's metrics. Oh, no." Then the mic, it started crackling, and I coughed 3 times dramatically. And that's not short. That's divine interference. That's right. See, even God knew. God's on your side. When the real church, they emailed me a cease and desist, by the way, because I kept mentioning them as the Lord and Savior. I called it a collaboration request. That's right. I read it live, coughing halfway through, and then shouted, "You can't copyright the spirit, Georgie." Why Georgie? Just because everything else is Georgie these days. And sure, people mock me, but engagement was way up. And at the end of the day, I told my audience what I truly believe. If you're not mocking your music, you're not making noise. And I was born to make noise. Now, there may be a little bit of retelling there. This is not quite with what you remember, but that's how I remember it. There's a little more. They give tips and stuff. I like that. I think that's beautiful. Oh my God, this is the best thing. I kind of love this book. So I added in, let's see, I added in a few more chapters, by the way, I was working on. This thing's up to, it's up to 12,000 words. It's not little anymore. You know, it is a novella. It's busted out in a little novella size. But I did add an entry into the golf carts. Remember the golf cart loofahs? Oh yeah. That's right. I added in the loofahs. It's an amazing chapter, by the way. I'm working right now on one about a certain $6,000. You know, because that needs to be worked out. But yeah, I put one in about about the loofahs, because that's amazing. I needed one on the $6,000, of course. I finished up the Cruise of Compassion. Oh, there's so many good ones. I think, we'll go over a few more as they go forward. But I thought that was fun. It does have to go in print. Oh, my God. Yeah, I was thinking about putting it on, for sure, letting people get a hold of it and goof off. This week, I'll tell you what, if we, if maybe like Thursday, maybe if we set a goal or something, I'll go through some more with you all. And then, like I said, I've been spending every night fine tuning this masterpiece. It's so good. I love it. Let's go over some super chats today. Let's do that now. I think this is, like I said, tonight. I wasn't even going to go live today, but I really wanted you all to know that somebody, again, for real, they're threatening us. They're using police. They've talked about this a lot too. They've said with like Hale, for example, they are talking about how with Levy County, how they went as far as to have set downs with Levy County. How they're doing all this crazy stuff because they're doing anything in their power. They want to silence folks. And, it worked. It worked for a lot of people. a lot of people that were talking about this case, they walked away. They didn't walk away because of time or any kind of stupid or any kind of, in not having the requisite stuff that you would want. Oh, it's got all the crazy that you would ever want and more. It's because they threaten, they dox, they bring on people that are quite literally felons. They do anything that they can. And at the same time, police, they've tried weaponizing police all over the place. And maybe that's worked for them in the past. But I have a feeling that this Orange County thing may really be a problem for them. Because again, people are allowed to have a problem with something that they see online. They are allowed to have a problem if somebody is uploading someone else's kids as a person that is supposed to be protecting them. And moreover, the Fats last night kept saying that she worries about Leslie's life, which is the stupidest fucking thing. But if they really feel that way, if they thought, oh man, she's stalked and more, why would you upload pictures of people's kids around? It's because they don't believe that, like I was talking about before. They don't believe that at all. They just want to weaponize other people's children into something, which is disgusting, But they brought it up over and over. And by the way, she's also denying being a spokesperson for Leslie now. I thought that was funny too. I'm not a spokesperson for Leslie. I just came out and I mimed everything she said without fact checking any of it, right? Oh, what a nut. She's like, I didn't defame Jeremy. I never even really said it was him. And I'm not a spokesman for Leslie either. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. It's funny too. Like I said, I would not be surprised to find out that one of these idiots did this. And then they contacted Lips and they were like, oh, is something going on? Like this ultimate form of gaslighting. It's amazing. It's so strange too. Like this nut job as well. Like the spin on the lawsuit too. The spin to the lawsuit. They say that she sued, but Randy contacted and blackmailed her and extorted her. Now, how would he do that? I have no idea how that would work. Not only that, how would that work too? Considering they could have recorded anything if they felt that they were, and they would have. So that tells you, like, none of that is true. But they're like, oh, she just wanted to walk away. No, fuck her. She doesn't get to try to intimidate people and then walk away. Fuck her, man. We told her. We were absolutely told her. If you do this, then, and when she did it the first time, nobody was like, all right, well, Hales definitely said, okay, you want to sue me? It's on. But like for the rest of us at the time, we were like, whatever. We haven't thought about anything on it whatsoever. But she started talking about adding us again. And when we told her, if she adds us, we definitely will sue her for it. And she did. She added us yet again. Then afterwards, we offered her grace. We told her if she wanted to walk away, what would have to happen there? She would have to turn over the information on these people and tell exactly what's happening. Now, did she do that? Not to me. Now, she may have talked to Jeremy or whomever, but I demanded information, specific information, by the way. God, Dave, you were so much slimmer back in 2015. Dave, you were so much slimmer back then when being booked with your mugshot. That's an interesting one. Who is David Tischendorf. Why was he arrested? Huh. Let's see. Wow. Charges. Well, that's interesting. Well, Dave, that's fascinating stuff. But of course, like I said, he spent a lot of time taking shots at other folks. A lot of time talking about, again, Jeremy and more. Oh man, I really like where somebody sent me this screenshot of it and Marla's under it. She's like, "Oh my God, I feel the desperation from other people. Oh, of course it has nothing to do with court cases." Yeah, Marla, you seem to really love it when you all were talking about, again, Jeremy Hale's divorce records. You're okay with that. Does that have anything to do with federal or state court cases? Absolutely not. It's just something that you guys could fuel your little hate boner with. But when your boy gets exposed over there, you're like, "Oh, it's too far. Can't we all just get it on?" Marla is the most two-faced snake in the grass I've ever seen. It's funny that LP has stated that. The person that she was like, "That's my best friend." LP's like, "It ain't my best friend." What garbage. Trying to use my clout. She's my best friend. Oh, Dave. That's funny though. I love it because Dave really wants to cause other people problems. He loved being in that drama community. And in that drama community, that's what they do. They dug up shit, or they just make shit up sometimes wholesale. It's all about character assassination. That's why when he said commentary community is attached to that, and they were talking about Hales. That makes sense. It makes total sense. Because they remind me some every now and then somebody out of the commentary community. They don't fall into this, but 9 out of 10 of them, if they call themselves that, if they self-apply that label, what that means is that they are like high school mean girls. That's essentially, that's what Dave is. Dave is a high school mean girl. You ever watch those mean girl movies where little high school mean girl gets in trouble and then suddenly they're like, "I'm changing my ways, I'm a victim." You ever watch those and you're like, "But you were such a monster throughout that whole movie. What's happening?" Yeah, that's Dave. That's Dave. So he thought that, and he knew he had all this stuff in his past and everything too. But he's all good with that. And again, too, this is a guy, like I said, he thought he would, for myself and Megan, he was whining about this on a live stream. He was like, "They're so mean to me. I made a video that's a spoof about them." Yeah, his spoof about it, by the way, is essentially accusing Megan of having affairs with me because she can't be, men can't have friends with women. And I thought, okay, so your attempt at quote unquote fair game spoofs and criticism is assassinating a female's character, because that's not hurt me. You can't hurt my character, and it doesn't hurt a man like that. But you're trying to hurt a female's character. You're really attempting that. And Megan didn't cry about that. I didn't cry about that. But you know who did cry about it? Dave cried about it, actually. He was like, "My stuff is fair and satire and parody. But what they do is just mean. That's so mean. It's not fair." I was like, "Okay, that's fun." That's fun. But, he talked a lot of shit, too. He would sit around and talk that shit, make videos. I remember him cutting off a commentary where he wanted to make videos for about people like myself, because he didn't want anybody like me to be able to respond. So of course I'd have to respond with my channel, which is classic quote unquote commentary community, where they try to force some kind of content. But the content didn't go his way because people found his arrest records. And maybe he didn't do something. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying, you know what? It's really weird that you didn't apply that benefit of the doubt to other people. You don't think in divorce people say some horrible shit? You don't think that happens? See, in divorce, here's a little thing people don't understand. In divorce, it's not like in any other court where you defame people. In family court, people make some horrendous claims about you. And when they do that, they do it knowing that you're not going to be able to really sue them. They're supposed to prove those points. But all they'll do, they'll just recite whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, they're not going to face a penalty at the end of it. You know, if somebody in another courtroom did that you could sue for it. But in family court, it's totally different. Family court, it allows it. So in family court, Dave was okay with the recitation of anything. And he's promoting the shit out of Leslie, who was doing that. She, again, was putting together bully hunters. He thought they were so funny. He was sharing them all the time and doing all of this. But then people get to his real life stuff. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Now it's a bridge too far. He's like, you all win. Oh, no, baby. I ain't started yet. I ain't. And that ain't bullying, son. That's just talking about who you are. Because I'm not making up anything. You know, are you gonna sue me over saying that you're fat? You know, I mean, okay. That you enjoy a Whopper or 5? Okay. I mean, well, what's the lawsuit there? That you were joined up with some of the worst people ever, and you didn't mind throwing in with people like Paint Chips either. You didn't find that to be a problem at all. You didn't find that to be a conflict. You know, throwing in with felons, you don't seem to have that problem, do you? They're all okay with that too. That amazes me as well. Like, they're all okay with that. All the damage, the victims that some of these people they cause, they're okay with that. They're okay with elder scammers. They're okay with that. While they're screaming, oh, poor elderly indigent woman, they're okay with an elder scammer. Anyway, let's do some super chats. I could rant all day about these fools, man. Sister Sal, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Sister Sal, by the way. Appreciate you. I always love that Muppet. I love that. I love people's like family pigs, how everybody looks happy there. It's great. I love them. Rick, thank you for the 4 months there. Not a statement. That is its statement. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you, brother. Max Lab. What up, Tug? I messaged you on Twitter. Let's see what you messaged me. Mr. Max Lab, I hope you are doing good today, by the way, sir. Let's see. One second. Yeah, actually, we on your. I will next week. That way, when it's fresh, I got your message though. I'll message you about it. All right. Appreciate you too, bro. MS Coastline, thanks for the 2 there. You're all going to the alligator Alcatraz. Yep, that's where Marla likes to send people. You know, I bet Marla even has probably a what's the word for it? A slur for me. Yeah, I'm a big kid though. You can call me whatever. I don't care. It doesn't hurt my fees. You know. People make up crazy shit all the time, dude. Some of the stuff, like these kind of people, man. I mean, they don't stop. They will make up like some of the most horrendous shit to try to ruin your life. And I mean, you've seen it with, like I said, you've seen it with Hales. But man, been there, done that, seen it. So none of these people surprise me with anything. But thank you for the 4 months. Hey, Tug. Love from Alberta, Canada. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, love return, man. Love return. My Canadian neighbors. You know, I wish like YouTube channels, I wish geopolitical figures, and again, not getting into politics, just saying, I wish they could get along like we all can get along. You know what I mean? Like we can find ways that unite us, and we can actually enjoy each other and remember our commonalities. I wish they could do that too. Wouldn't that be awesome? Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Fallen Hero, and thank you again. As I say, many times, I mean it every time. Appreciate you here all the time. Thank you, my friend. Sheila, thanks for the 10. Chicken skin. Man, I swear, gotta get out those chicken skins. Yummy. Andre, thanks too there. Just showing my support, ticking off the haters. You know that should actually be it happens so much these days where they just rant and rave. That should be a sport in and of itself. And it's funny, like I said, you know, you hear everybody say it. They're like, they're coming after my channel. You know, they were saying that too. And I think that's so funny because they whine and say, well, every day they make fun of us. Okay, well, that's part of my daily ritual. I really do like making fun of the dumb things they say. So, you know, going after them. Oh, they were whining about tortious interference too. Isn't that a good laugher? I guess I made fun of the name so much with torches interference. They said it right finally. But yeah, they were whining about how we're interfering with their business. Like your business of what? Character assassination? Like which one? Which one? It's so funny there. Oh my God. What a bunch of weirdos. Oh, she spent a lot of time too last night talking about how they're going to put Jeremy in jail and arrest him for this or arrest him for that, which is insane, you know, by the way. But while they're doing it, you know, it was really fun in there too. They were talking about, they were comparing him to some criminal out there, trying to make, draw the parallels. And guess who they're chatting back and forth with? They're talking to Richard. That's right. What the fuck? They were even talking about, this is gross. Look, they're like, oh, you know, Richard, he's never been arrested for anything like that because of the Santa thing. Really? You fucking weirdo creepers. That's so weird. They were trying to take up for that. And they they were talking about Robbie going to jail, by the way. So, I mean, you know, they're admittedly, well, they've had how many fucking felons in there? 3 for sure, man. Because they noted Robbie in jail. They got they got Mr. Elder. Well, let's see. I'll roof your home. I'll help you out after. Oh wait, no, I won't. Yeah, we got that one, and then we got Mr. Giant Scam. Also, you know, the one thing that they leave out of there too, they leave out. You should look up what their political interference, what that had in it. How about the pictures again that are essentially the thing we talked about with the revenge prawn thing? Oh, they've done that before too. So some gross ass people doing some gross ass bullshit. But of course, the Santa stuff's all good to go. You know, because I'm sure if you were to poll the parents that are out there, I'm sure they're like, yeah, you know what? Throw my kid up on a felon's lap. That'll be okay. Tell them been to jail for 4 years and ask them, is this who you want for Santa? Because you do it, and I damn well will note it because it's publicly talked about. You know, so I definitely will bring that up. That's just, it's insane. You know, it is absolutely insane. These people are nuts, man. They are nuts. And then they compared Hales to this fucking crazy case that they wanted to pull up, which it was beautiful because they 100% pulled a case where a dude goes to prison for all types of horrible stuff. And they were like, yeah, this is just like Hales. I was like, all right, well, that's smart. Every time they walk back one thing, they say something else that's terrible. But you know what? It's because of all that chicken skin to the brain. Let's continue. Thank you, Deborah, by the way, for the 2 there. It's chicken skin thing. That's right. That's right. That's what happens. I have my favorites. Thanks for the vibe. Sloppy, slimy, maybe crunchy chicken skins. Man, would you like a little sauce on the side? I know. Sounds delicious. Yummy. Oh. This sounds really gross, actually. Joan, thanks for the 20 there. Chicken skin. I need like 4 or 5 of these where there's chicken skin, like different ones, you know, just so I can trade them up. I think that would be funny. I think, give me 1 second. I gotta clear my throat. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Thank you, Joan. Christopher, thanks for the 2. Breadsticks on candy for the kiddos. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we don't want them. We won't give them your chicken skin. It's dangerous. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, let me throw you a little bit of that magic on the choo-choo. There we go. Jane, thanks for the 10 months. Good to be here, Tug. Well, it's good to have you here. That is awesome, and I appreciate you. I'm sure Monday will be quite the fun stream, by the way. I'm sure Megalodonis and everybody, you know, see, today I can't really get into the calling the popo as well. I'm going to wait till business is in. And then, I'm definitely calling some places myself, and I'm sure other people will too, because they're going to find out, you know, what exactly is going on. And I'm definitely FOIAing the shit out of what's been reported. And that's going to be, if we find out that there's a false police report about that too, then I'm definitely going to, I'm going to have to file something of my own, I guess. Like I said, these people just love to push. But Jamie, I love it. Thank you for being here. In the class, thanks for the 5. Slurpy, slurpy chicken skins. Ooh, so yummy, yummy. I know, so yummy in our tummies. Oh, gross. Fallen Hero, thanks for the 2 there. Oh, we got that chicken skin money. I'm telling you, we need like 3 or 4 of these animations when they pop up every time. We need like 3 of them. That'd be amazing. William, thanks for the 10. Has anyone done a reverse picture search and let the person know that Limps is posting under their identity? Not sure about the exact wording of the law, but I believe this is a person overseas. And yes, they are a famous person, by the way. The name came up. Somebody has done that. And as far as contacting, I'm not sure exactly where that is right now, because that is all just really happening. But yeah, it could be construed as identity for sure. I mean, they are taking real people. It's no longer like taking AI imagery or a fake image. It's taking real people and posting under their image for sure. Christine, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Christine. That is awesome. Appreciate you. Love that avatar, by the way. It's cute. Lindy, what's up, Lindy Lou? Thank you for the slurping that chicken skin. Yeah, you know, also the other thing you'll notice with the avatar, you notice he doesn't slurp. Like I just couldn't bring myself to put the slurp in there. It's like gross. It's really funny. Philip, thanks for the 10 there. Thank you. Hey, from New Zealand. Well, hey, return. I appreciate you from New Zealand. That is amazing. I love that we have worldwide access going on to. That is amazing. Appreciate that. Maybe not. What's up? Maybe not. Appreciate you for sure. It's good to see you. That avatar, dude. It's funny. Thank you for the 10 giftos. I saw them fall in, but I didn't see where they came from. Thank you. Maybe not. Appreciate that. Ria Raya, thanks for the 5 friends. Romans countrymen, it is I, Jeremy Hales, the famous YouTuber. Or to be or not to be. It should have been to be or not to be, Jeremy Hales. So that is the question. It is I, Jeremy Hales. I love that idea. I'm telling you, he needs to do like a spoof of that. It is I, the only YouTuber ever. Oh my God. William, thanks for the 5 there. It's hard to be 100% from the live stream pick. But the pick in the Sock Puppet account is a name and pick of a BBC presenter. Maybe that's who it is then. It's a famous one for sure because it hit. And that may be who that is then. You know, that may well be who that is. I'll tell you what. Let me a second. I will post it over on Facebook right now. Okay. And then people can look at that account and they can see, let me see. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Leslie. You anti-Hales. Weirdos making fake police reports about us now, I see. There, and you can see the account. I want people to be able to see like what's there. But yeah, you can see the account where it was attached. So I posted on ThATGUY, ThATGUY. That is me for sure, 100%. Thaddeus. But yeah, tell me if that's them. I don't know. Like I said, on to you. Thanks for the 5. I'm confused. If a criminal investigation is conducted, like I said, this is good too. Why does it need to be turned over to the authorities? That's right. Why wouldn't they have already turned over everything? And by the way, we've got some extensive stuff with Leslie. Like she has had some unhinged stuff going on. She has had complaints apparently from people very close to her, to the police too. So maybe the approach she's taking is well, I would say it's not smart, but it's typically them, you know. Jada, thanks for 11 months. You're so faithful going live for some weekends. Thanks for all you do. Love. Well, I appreciate that. Yes, some days on the weekends, I'm like today, I was like, man, you know what I want to do? I want to watch the movie There Will Be Blood. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis. If you've never seen that movie, by the way, it has no business being good, but it is amazing. It is not violent or anything. It's just about the rise of a man to being pretty much an oil tycoon. I guess that's the best way, but that doesn't sound interesting. But it's an amazing movie. So good. God, that's like one of the best movies ever made, I'm going to say. That movie, I love it. I love that movie. No, I was thinking, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch that today. But I was like, no. We got to talk about this crazy. And I like hanging out with you guys. Like that's part of it too. I do. I like hanging out with you folks. You know, it may not be algorithmically nice for channels to do, but sometimes, you know, I know people that only do stuff algorithmically based too. And I'm like, man, you can't live that way. You know, I think building good rapport with the people that are your channel, hanging out, because there are many worthwhile people there. You know, I also think this, if you're loyal to the people that make you, then they will be loyal to you and they will help you along forever. So I think that's important. If you tell people that they're appreciated, they'll appreciate you too. And I do. I appreciate you, Jade. I appreciate all of you folks. Skipper, thanks for the 2. Ecosystem 1.0 supports Tug. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm over in there. I was over in the other one that got taken down. You know, I watch all of y'all's groups because I like to know what's going on. You know, and a lot of people post stuff. They post things from discussions in different chats where people like John Cook end up getting screenshots saying some crazy things, or maybe like the big donor blows a gasket again because these people have talked about him 104 times in a day. Oh, I forgot to check. Let me check from last night. Let me see if they actually brought him up. Be really weird if they did in there. They brought him up the other night, even though there was no reason for him to be in it. Yep, there's one hit for donor. Let's see. Yep, there's a hit on there. They cannot leave. This guy gives them hundreds of thousands of dollars. They can't leave him alone. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And also, Veteran Nation, thanks too. Domestic dispute with his brother. Oh, so it was with his brother. Wait. So it wasn't with a woman, it was with his brother? Is that what happened? Again, I don't know. I'm just asking. So it was a domestic with bro. That would make more sense than it being with a woman, but I don't know. Or was it with his brother and a woman? I don't know. I'll read the thing. I don't know. I'll read the thing. I know I shouldn't ask while I'm. It was his ex-fiance. How did he get into fiance? Like that guy, again, you know, for real, if you listen to some of these people out there, like he reminds me of the stereotype. I hate using the word because it's used so incorrectly these days. But if you look up what an incel, you know, an incel is an involuntary celibate. Okay, that's what that means. That means somebody that cannot have relations with women. They aren't voluntarily doing that either. It means women are like, oh, what? And that guy, I mean, he seems like from his reaction to anything female based, you know, it's like any woman interacting with a man, like these people don't understand that you can have female friends. It's so bizarre to me. Like I've got a lot of female friends, you know, and that's just been typical. I've always been able to get along with females, and I've always been able to get along with men, you know. But some of these people, like Dave, just seems shocked by it. You know, you have to be having an affair or something if you talk to women. It's like, no, man. Some of us. We actually we don't repulse the opposite sex. Sorry, brother. Yeah. But hey, I'm telling you, you go over to one of his videos today. Don't comment or bother him. Just go and watch a short and see how many times he blinks. It is unnerving sometimes. If he's really excited, he doesn't blink. I'm telling you, lizard man. Andre, thanks to the 2. I think the similarities between Lips and LP scary. Yeah, sometimes, man. You know, one thing though, I don't actually think that originally LP was part of the bring her in. I think that third party violation was when she was telling her, hey, come in here, cover and do stuff. I think she definitely violated third party. But Lips was recruited by the 2 morons. And then, you know, you have 2L trying to keep her in check for sure. Bruce hates her. You can tell. Oh, my God. That's another thing that amazes me. I would never deal with people that treat me like I heard on that live stream, you know. I would never. But Lips, man, gotta have, even if they treat you like garbage, gotta have those allies, right? It's so crazy. Gotta damage Jeremy with them. Lizard King. Oh no. Sorry, Lizard King. Don't mean. Actually, my daughter, we call it since our name, of course, her name's come up a bunch of times, but since her name's Elizabeth, and I'll call her Lizard. That's why you'll hear me say, "Hey, Lizard, what's up?" So, you know, poor lizards, though. After Mr. V over there. But if a public employee creates a record during the course of duties, that record can be requested through FOIA laws, even if it's personal advice. That's true. That's true. Like emails in a school system. Holy shit. Let me find something out real quick. Let me see something. Can I... Teacher, 1 second, I'm looking something up. Holy shit, I can FOIA her work emails. I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh my god. You know? One second. Oh shit. Give me a second. Hey, I'm gonna have to hurry through. I think I just saw something. Let me check something, okay? I think something may be coming up today. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Never mind. I was just making sure of something. I misunderstood something that was going on. I thought there might have been something coming up today. One day. I'm looking something up real fast. I'm going to tell you something in just a second. But yeah, so the FOIA thing, I was looking this up and I asked, which is a good thing. I wasn't even thinking about that. But in Florida, can I FOIA a teacher's email? And yes, under the Florida Public Records Act, I can request teachers' emails that are used for state business. So they're public record unless there's specific exemptions applying. Yeah, all right. After this, I will be making sure that we need to FOIA her records. Well, let me see. We need to. I'm making a note. FOIA Leslie's email as a teacher. That's good. Good note. I wasn't even thinking about that. Thank you. That's actually a very good note. I know there was a little silence there. I apologize for a minute, but I was making a note for that because that's that right there. You know, since they're saying emails came in and this and that happened. Okay. All right. You know, here's the thing too. Like these people, when they said that emails came in from like Hales or this or that came in, you got to self-report wherever that email came from. So I don't actually believe that. I think Jeremy Hales tonight, his thing is called throwing each other under the bus, you know, talking about the ecosystem. I believe that is very correct, by the way. I believe they have been doing that. They've been doing it hardcore. Let's see. Robert, thanks for the $5 there. I was arrested for felony assault, deadly weapon. 3 days later, no charges. I walked out of jail. Indeed, you can be arrested without things. You know, here's my thing. This is the way I handle it, Robert. Like, and I think you bring up a really good point. There is innocent until proven guilty, which should be the status that anyone has attached to them. However, this is my caveat. People that want you to listen and believe, Like we've been told with Lynette, listen and believe everything she says. Okay, well, when she speaks and says something bad about any of those people, I believe it. If where they were like, listen and believe, when it comes to charges against other people. Okay. Well, I remember that for them, because for me, my standard is evidence, not accusation. But I don't want to offend them because their standard is listen and believe. So that's how I look at that. But you bring up a really good point in that too. People can be arrested for all kinds of things and do nothing wrong. Absolutely. It happens all the time. False arrest. I mean, it does. It happens all the time. But again, with like these people, I remember when I'm talking about that, that's the standard they wanted to set. And I believe that people that want that standard, they reap that whirlwind, because I've railed against false accusations for years. In fact, the Hales thing, a lot of what goes on in this, I think we're railing against those. So yeah, I mean, again, that is a very good point, Ron. Homer Archer's Homestead. I'm always going to call you Archer. You sound so good to that. Thanks for the two. No chicken skin here. No, sir. That's right. Split pea soup. That actually sounds good. I had chicken, but it was I had a chicken quesadilla. There's very little around here right now. We have a food truck that is amazing. It's there all the time. And this is what's amazing about it. Okay. They make a quesadilla the size of, those plastic containers that you like, not the gigantic ones, but the mid-sized ones that are pretty big, right? They make a quesadilla as big as one of those, full of everything. And the quesadilla, if you get it with rice and everything, it costs different. But if you remove, say, the rice and stuff, and you just want the quesadilla, it has so much on it. I don't want anything with it besides that. But if I get it there, it costs like $5. I'm like, wow. So, $5 for, something that big, that much of a meal. We also have a guy, but he's going to be gone soon because the cold weather will run him off. We have a hot dog vendor guy in our little town. There's a guy who pops up and every year, and the hot dog vendor is so good here, by the way, that he's won awards here. Like against restaurants. We have some restaurants, but the hot dog guy is better than some of the restaurants. Amazing. So isn't that crazy? But yeah, man, having soup or chili these days, oh, so good. Like it's the time for it with it cold. Just had some chili a couple of weeks back. Lizzie King, thank you also for there. Looney Lips, recording her class is her creating a public record. That's true too. That is very true. Kids would be redacted, but if a lawyer requests for a court case, it could get unredacted. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We actually have. I would be curious more about the reaction in school. Because these things being brought up, she's saying that there was a reaction to all of this, that there was a contact and all of that. Well, that's creating a record too. There are emails about a supposed incident. We're not talking about private communications or anything, which again, that's it shouldn't matter anyway, but they're creating records about that too. So that is absolutely something we could pull. Hey, D, thanks for the tune. Check my email. Let me see what else we got here. D spilling that tea. Oh, yeah, I saw that for sure. Thank you, D, too. Yeah, a few people sent me, and like I said, thank you, D. And I appreciate you, too, D, for sure. You do good work, too. These people, man, they hate you a lot because you do a good job. Yeah, I'm looking at some of his record with all of that. It's just amazing, though. He's like, I was a different person back then. I was so different. Okay, so that applies to Dave, though. Dave was a different person back when, but everyone else. Okay. All right, Dave, I got you. Bill, thanks for the 5. Davey's lip profile pic is, what is it? Muriel emailed a web. Okay, thank you, Bill. I'll check that out then. I'm not sure who that is right off the top. I'll probably like after that. I'll probably know who that is, but right off the top of my head, I don't. Let me look. Here it is. Thank you. I'm seeing who she's using there. Yeah, that's her for sure. There's the picture. Isn't that crazy? So she's using some random, well, I don't want to say random woman, but she's known, but a woman that is definitely not that. She's taking real people's photographs and using them as sock puppets. Like, that is absolute lunacy. She's threatening us with real people's pictures that are obviously not them. Good job there, Leslie, by the way. Good job using some real person's profile. That doesn't disturb the ecosystem either. It doesn't disturb them when children are used for props. It doesn't disturb them when all this other crazy comes up. None of that disturbs them at all. One second. God, I found something else, man. There's so much going on right now. So I'm making sure I understand something really quick. Yeah, there's another thing popping off too. It's crazy. There's always something. Sandy, thanks for the 2. I loved the show V. Me too. I absolutely enjoyed it. I don't remember watching the remake. I think I did watch the remake, but I don't remember it. The original was amazing though. Like back in the day, there was nothing like that show on whatsoever, And I remember watching that as a kid and be like, oh my God, It was so good. And of course, it couldn't last because it was good. Jamboree, thanks for all you do, Tug. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And thank you, too. Thank you for being here and everything you do, too. Rogue Mama, thanks for the 2. This must be published as an ebook. I'd pre-order. Indeed. I thought what I was thinking about doing, I thought this would be funny. I know a guy that he publishes hardbacks and everything else. And I was going to check with him and maybe like do some limited. I would want to do either limited or on demand. Nowadays, when we make comic books in the past, there's been so many problems with printing and delivery, but we seem to have fine-tuned all of that as far as being able to get items done and delivered better. Our last ones, it took about 3. And this last one, because of personal stuff going on too, it kind of threw some monkey wrenches in that, and it messed with, I just messed with the whole process. But I think we've done it right for this. So I was thinking about going ahead and getting some, I'd like to have about 10 or 20 just on hand. That way it'd be funny. I'd like to personalize them. I'd like to put well, if somebody wanted a signature, whatever. If you wanted something on it, that's fine. But I'd like to personalize it, pretending to be the person that wrote it, as the person it's about. That would be funny. I think that would be great. Cynthia, thanks for the 2 there. I sent something in your email just now. Oh, yeah, I saw. Thank you, Cindy. Cynthia. I said, Cindy, my God, my brain. Thank you, Cynthia. I see that there, and I appreciate it, by the way. Oh, God, my brain some days. But naked, thanks for the vibe. So is Bubbles created entirely new over sending cheese and desist. Cheese and desist. They're edible. Scratch and sniff. Yummy. That is funny. That is funny. Did that thing say cheese and desist? I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I didn't even notice if it did. Let me check. That would be funny. Let me see. If it says cheese and desist, I think I'll fall out of my chair. No, it's this. I thought maybe it said cheese. That would be really funny if it did. Hers. That would have been really good. It would have been like, is that there? Tease T. What's up, Tease T? How you doing, by the way, too? Thank you, Tease T. Much appreciated. It's awesome to see you too. I like that little avatar. It's very cute too. I love it there. Strange little badger. Thanks for the 10 there. 10 months. It's awesome. You know, I actually snort laughed at times. That story. And it's you trying to get shit together. Just keep being you. That love the show. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have some problems in the book itself, you know, and I'll add stuff when I'm reading it, you know. I do. So it gets me laughing. Kelly, thanks for the 13 months. Did Max Lab make a YouTube account? Yes, actually. Now he's doing something which I thought was cool. Let's give me a second here. This is the perfect opportunity to mention this. I think again mentioning it when we got more of a full house would be good too, you know. But he did. He was. I think he's going to post. Give me a second. He's going to end up posting documents without like anything read with them or anything, which it actually works because it doesn't have to. You don't have to meet any criteria with that. So I'm going to post a link to it. You know. Now, one of the things, Max Lab, that will be difficult for you with that flow is meeting the hours for monetization. If you aim for monetization, because you have to have 4,000 watch hours, and that is a lot of watch hours if you're posting shorts, because that would be like just putting up documents would be shorts. So I'm pinning your channel though to the top, and it's good. Max Live comes up with a lot of documents and anything anyway. So posting them as a video too, that'd be great. You could go in, you could freeze on it and screenshot, and that way you have the videos too. Or you have not video, but you have the documents if you need them. So that's a good way to put them in your hands as well. So I put the channel at the very top of the chat. Just go, if you would right now, it just started up. Just go click on that and subscribe to it. Like I said, that's a good way to get documents in your hands too. But yeah, I figured I'd shout it out as when we have more people on hand as well. But yeah, I think it's perfect time since you asked. Perfect segue for it. Helen, thanks for the find there. Tug, did you watch Welcome to Dairy? And what did you think? Yes, now episode 3 has not come out yet. That, first of all, I would caution anybody that that is a very graphic show. Okay, very graphic show. For me, that is fine, and I like shows like that. I'm good with it. The one thing I would say about that is it makes what Pennywise did to like the Loser Club and really anyone else before seem mild, though. That's the only thing. Like when he's going after these people, like this is horrific stuff he's doing. And, you know, again, now I realize in saying that the Losers Club was under protection, you know, the turtle. If anybody's ever read the book, they're under kind of a cosmic protection. So that's one of the reasons. But generations before them, you know, the people that came before, some people just get wiped out through his history. There's actually a really good YouTube channel that does a history of Pennywise. I'll have to look its name up real well. But they do a history of everything that's in there. If you're ever interested in it and breaking down those characters. But that Welcome to Dairy, I mean, it is a graphic show. But for me, again, I like a horror show, and with monsters that will like Pennywise, a monster that consumes children. The message in that is that nothing is safe in there. You know, nothing's sacred, nothing's safe, and that can make a terrifying show. And so far, it's been a good show for me. But again, the caveat with it is a very graphic show. And for me to say that, it's not like a small time. Like it has some stuff in it. You'll be like, oh God, that's awful. Or that's gross. And wow, I'm not ruining anything, but that first episode, the way it ends was a banger. I'm being vague in that. We'll talk about it when the show ends, I think. You know, when the season's over, then I'll feel comfortable saying that. But if you haven't watched that and you're comfortable with all that, you might just really like that show. I liked it, like I said. I just, one problem I do have with it is that I mean, it does it like some of the stuff with Pennywise and horror. You could see like it would really mess a person up. You could see how that would drive them insane, you know, and then the town and everything else. But it does make the stuff that Pennywise did to other people look very weak by comparison. You know, I mean, it's horrible stuff. But I really like horror anyway, and having a horror show like that now, that's it's definitely not. It's more of a, I'm going to say it would be a rated R show. That's definitely not like even remotely questionable, and it's not theme. It's just graphic nature of it makes it that. But anyway, like I said, I've liked it so far. Stacy, thanks for the 12 months, 1 year, baby. Thank you for that. That is awesome of you, Stacy, and much appreciated. Laura B. What's up, Laura? How you doing? Thanks for the 35 months. Thank you, Laura. Tug, maybe a shirt with a chicken slurp. Nobody would buy it against. That's true. That's true. Order now and get your free chicken buckets. That's what I need. I need a coffee cup that looks like a little chicken bucket. Like a chicken skin bucket. Oh my God. With a cricket on the front. Holy God, that would be great. I think that would be funny. Came at Red Queen. Thanks for the 19 months. Jeremy can never say that line. Jeremy, the famous YouTuber. As to be clipped. And he'd use it everywhere. And that's true too. God, that's really funny. Well, I'm surprised they haven't tried to fake evidence yet. They have faked evidence before, so what would stop them now? And yes, they have faked evidence straight up. That is a straight up accusation. That isn't even remotely me being like, oh, they misinterpreted. No, they faked evidence. They've taken shit like from live stream, and they have faked. They wanted to be like, they're coming after, and they tried to, they doxed me and so blah blah blah. But they made a fake screenshot, just faked them, like 100% faked them, and told their audiences they were real. It's wild, man. So anything they do, it's wild that even if they produced evidence of something these days, I think I would question it too. But yeah, if you did that, you're right. Dwayne, thanks for the, hey kiddo, what's up?
What's up?
What you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? I like that dress. It's cute.
Yeah.
Little hearts.
Yeah. I miss church.
Huh?
I miss church.
I know. Well, you were tired though. I think it's the weather. It makes us tired. You know, it's getting really cold outside.
Yeah. Sometimes you get tired when it's cold sometimes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do. I get tired like when the weather changes, where it's been really hot and then it just dropped, just bottomed out on us, got really cold.
Yeah, because it's, it was cold on Halloween.
Yeah.
So
what are you doing?
I just like wearing this dress. And
Well, I know you like your dress there, but I'm saying, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now?
I was watching TV.
Okay. Did you come down here for a reason?
Want to say hi.
Oh, you just wanted to say hi? Okay. Well, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, here, give me a hug. I'm about finished up.
Mom's getting Sonic for me. And
Oh my gosh, really? Sonic for you?
And Sissy.
Well, of course, and Sissy too. Are you going to Gigi's tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Sissy said she's going. So are you going?
Yes.
Well, you better go have your lazy day. Actually, make sure your room's kind of straightened up too. You have a lazy day, but just make sure your room's straightened up, okay? Because your room was in good shape. So, and tell Sissy to clean her room up. Tell her today you get to play the big sister, and you're the boss. Tell her, since your room's cleaner than hers, tell her to clean her room.
Yeah, Sissy Gigi helped me, and
Hey.
a ball fell out of the cup.
Cool. Put it in there if you would. Hey, what do you think about buying a snake?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, 'cause if we had a snake, then
Here's Andre. He said, "Here's some candy money for you." You say thank you.
did you see the balloons? It reminds me of Pennywise. Pop, pop, pop.
Oh, no. Pop, 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 pop.
You remember? He said pop, pop, pop.
Yep, I do. All right. You need to go upstairs.
Have a kiss. You forgot the kiss.
Yeah, give me a kiss on the cheek right here.
You forgot the kiss on you.
I know. I forgot. I'm sorry.
And I have some cookie dough too.
Some what?
Cookie dough.
Not right now. Maybe later when Mom, she says, I think that's stuff that they were. That's not my stuff. So, you know. But anyway, go do your thing.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Yeah. Hey, close that door for me too, okay? Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to walk through it, so you'll open it and then close it back. Okay. It's already closed, indeed. Close the door. You were asking about. See, she's seen some Pennywise stuff, like her sissy showed her, but like that new show, good God, like there's no way. You know, there's nothing even remotely like, you know, you're asking about that. Hello, they need to stay away from that. But it's funny because that's what she was like. You see her, it's pop, pop, pop. This show, you were asking like what I thought about it. One of the difference in it, like it focused on the clown persona. You know, with Pennywise. The show is focused on fear. And that's been something else. Oh, okay. My screen is... I was talking while my screen was waking up too. Dwayne, thank you for the 5 there. Tug, what happened to the chicken meat after the chicken skins? I don't know. That's a good question, man. You know, like I said, the joke comes from the first time I heard one of their shows. They were quite literally slurping chicken skin off chicken, and it was very gross, you know. It is something. Oh yeah, Army of Darkness is amazing too. I like it. Actually, you know, one of the my favorite horror actor when I was growing up, I loved Jeffrey Combs, because Jeffrey Combs, I loved him and all of the Lovecraftian stuff. And as I grew up, you know, he pops up in all kinds of stuff. But also a close second for me, man, I love Bruce Campbell. I absolutely love Bruce Campbell and stuff. Watch him. I had the luck. I was at a convention one time and went over. It was later in the day, and you can go like to the lobbies and, you know, and do stuff and run into people, right? Well, I was sitting around, I'd been goofing off, and I went, and Bruce Campbell ended up coming down there. And it was funny because I guess for the convention, he seemed more like a caricature of the real, you know, he seemed like a movie character more than he seemed like the real Bruce Campbell, you know, and it was so much fun. Got to hang out down there. There were other people down there too, but hung out there for about, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. It was hilarious. God, it was fun. But he was a lot of fun. I tell you, the most fun I ever had though, those people. So there's for The Walking Dead, you know, Andrew, I can't think of his name. The guy who plays Rick and the guy who plays Negan. I can't think of their names, but they have there's fake ones. They have an experience. It's like a fake Walking Dead. Okay. They'll have actors that'll come on too, but they have a fake Rick and a fake Negan, and they look just like them and they sound like them. It's so bizarre. Well, I was at a convention and those guys were there, and I was talking to them about YouTube and everything. And they let me do their thing and film it. And oh my God, it was so much fun. I was at Boba Fest and they let me do everything, film and talk to them and goof off. Oh my God, it was fun. So that was probably the best that I've ever had with one of the conventions. I've got my mask that I have, the one that I wear, to conventions and stuff. It has a bunch of horror signatures on it too. It has like a Leatherface on it. It has a Kane Hodder, the one of the Jasons. He's on it. The guy who played Happy Death Day. You remember that movie where the people keep repeating the day over and over again? That guy, his signature's on it. I've got a bunch of people. I've got random people. Like I've got YouTubers that were covering that Vic Mignogna trial. So there's a bunch of the I got a bunch of anime actors, some other people, and then a bunch of horror people in it too. So it's the weirdest of like one of my souvenirs, but it's where I would go to conventions and I would just take that same one and I would have people sign it. Like that's how I'd keep up with signatures, and it's got some awesome stuff on it. Jill, thanks for the 14 months. Your grandson's birthday's last week. He's 11. Let's give him some love here. That's amazing.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
From both of us to you. Happy birthday! May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
We love to have you here. Happy birthday! Here's to
many more very, very good years. That's right. That's awesome, though. Those are awesome. I love celebrating birthdays like that. And happy birthday to him. Natalie dropped 50 there, making them hate us squirm. Indeed. It's like it's like they're in a skillet hold the butter. I think as much as they squirm sometimes. That's true. Thank you, Natalie. That is appreciated too. Thank you. By the way, tonight in about 14 minutes, Hales goes on. So I'm running time. I'm in no hurry, but I'm getting, I time mine kind of close. That's one of the things that I do with all of that too. Goodness. Dave, do you have other records too, buddy? Huh. Gosh, you would think like all these people. Lordy. Like I said, I am not one to really judge people for like small stuff that happens or anything. Like I'll probably soon. I switched. I don't know if I told you guys, but I switched from Verizon to AT&T. It was a long story on why, but right after I switched, Verizon created me a bill and tried to bill me for my phones. I called them. I had to call 3 times talking to people off and on, but finally, supposedly it was cleared up. Good to go. Right after 3 times. They got paid because they get paid from AT&T, but it takes about a month. Well, the other day I get a collection notice. Collection people are so rude, by the way, because I told them, I'm challenging it. And they were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I have to give them certain information. I was like, no, I ain't giving you that. I ain't have to give you anything. I was like, you need to contact Verizon. And then I called Verizon. I was on the phone for 44 minutes. And the person told me, oh yeah, we got a fix for that, all that, everything. They were like, oh, we're going to hold for you. And during hold, about 45 minutes in, they hung up. Now I recorded that too. So I'm going to take that stuff and my documentation and everything. And I hope to God we get to go to collection court, because I would love to not only go after Verizon for misbilling, but any time wasted or anything, I want to go after them and the collection company for expenses. And they contacted my mother and family members, even though none of them are on a plan with me, which is a violation of state and federal law and collections. So I thought that'd be fun to bring into. But, everybody, you could have anything come up like that. But the thing is, these people weaponized anything that came up for people. Anything. So, they even weaponize shit that just people make up randomly, I mean, Lord, that's the thing. Like with Jeremy, you have to understand. people will try to, when they make up stuff, they'll try to use it for years and years, for the rest of your life. They will. I've done that. Like some of the stuff the Amber Heard simps said it with me was so gross. They tried paralleling some of the stuff like they said with Jeremy. Only they can't hurt me. That's the difference. They can't hurt my business. My business makes fun of them, so I still make money. But yeah, they weaponize gross stuff, and then they have stuff in their past. No thanks. Risa, thanks for the 10 there. Here's some vegan chicken skin money. There we go. That would probably make police even. She'd be like, cauliflower. Oh my God. Nobody's ever given me flowers. And then I got this. Gross. Andre, thanks for the 2. Candy monies too. Thank you, Andre, by the way. That was awesome. And I got to show that to her too. I love it when that comes up. That's a great, appreciate that. Dwayne, thanks for the 2 there. The cricket eats chicken wings. I think the cricket ended up probably at the bottom of someone's shoe. It sounds sad, right? I probably have been. Inspired, thanks for the 7 months. My birthday yesterday, 55 equals 10. Well, that's the thing. I think after 30, you get to pick your own age. I think that's fair. So here we go.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
From both of us to you. Happy birthday! May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday! We love to have you here. Happy birthday!
And here's to another year. That's right. Appreciate it. And with that, we have hit everything. We have a few minutes, so we have perfect time for switching over to. And again, before you go, if you would do me one solid on that, there's the link at the top of the description. That is Max Labs channel. He just started up. So he's got one short on there, but he's going to be putting up court docs there, which again, that's good. He can actually put them up for himself too, and that way people will have a place to refer to them. They can make sure things are correct. They don't have to pull things off the docket or find them. I would make, Max, what I would do? In fact, I would make playlists. Look up how you make playlists, and I would make playlists, and I would do one for each case. And you could go back with old documents too, but I wouldn't put too many on each day because it'll kill your algorithm, but I would do that. But yeah, we'll get you that. Now the watch hours are going to be a little difficult with it. All right. But I'm sending you over. You're going over to What the Hales. Appreciate you folks. You got a few minutes still, and I'll see you. Wait. Miss somebody. Let me get you, Jaguar, by the way. I must miss you. Thank you, man. Thanks for the 10. Thanks for providing us with hours of great content. Well, thank you for being here, too. Thank you. I appreciate it for sure. And with that, I'm sending you over. Thank you for the positive way to go out. Thanks.